Hi, good evening. I'm going to talk about my experience with Elliot on the two films that we worked on, and that's Heat and Public Enemies. Elliot's music in my film Heat begins with a sense of fatedness. It begins with a shot of steel rails and wires and steam through which a metro train approaches out of the distance. As it's coming towards us, Elliot's music imbues it with a sense of the beginning of something, a dawn, and also a kind of a metallic, ominous quality that something dangerous, something doom-laden might lurk on the horizon out beyond what we see. Then as the train doors open, Neil McCauley, Robert De Niro, steps out, and Elliot's score pivots. It immerses us within this man. A blank page right now, no judgment, but we sense aspiration, yearning, determination, all those things. And we see how he sees, which is warily, as he descends an escalator. Now, this is what Elliot's music does. It's unique in this. It opens additional dimensions. It brings us into subtext, a character's intent. Agents are immersion into possibilities, into a darkness from a future not yet told or even inferred. In Public Enemies, there's a scene after a bank robbery in Sioux Falls that goes bad. It's noisy, it's chaotic, it's a debacle. And suddenly we cut to a black car in a forest, and suddenly we cut to a lyrical cue that's almost elegiac. And it's a wounded John Dillinger being driven into the northern woods towards refuge in a lodge. Snow reflects off black paint and chrome hood ornament as he's being shot up with morphine. The manhunt after him is intensifying. His life's possibilities are narrowing. And Elliot's score amplifies what Dillinger and we see: snow, sky, sheltering trees, and it makes us feel what the experience would be if we knew that our time to perceive this is closing down around us. How precious would be the sensations of where you are when you know there may not be much more of it. So Elliot looks into an actor's eye sometimes. He externalizes what's there, makes it tactile, and can make it sensual. There's another moment in Heat when De Niro and Amy Brenneman as Edie are on the run. She's discovered who he really is, what he does, and De Niro tries to win her back. In so doing, he breaks all his own rules of detachment. He acts spontaneously and wins her. Now they're on the freeway heading out of LA, and De Niro has dismissed the temptation of going after Waingro. He's home free. As they drive into an underpass near LAX, as they enter this tunnel, there's this brilliant white light, and their faces are frozen in time, and Elliot's music makes that moment transcendent. It makes it a moment of almost religious glory, and experientially, it hits all these harmonics. It becomes all the time that they might have had, collapsed it to these 3 or 4 seconds. It makes the scene transcend its component parts, become greater than language or visual or even music alone. After it, when the light falls, Neil succumbs to temptation and goes for Waingro and embraces his fate. But it's Elliot's music, it's the glory of it, that elevates that scene to the pivotal, tragic moment that affects the outcome of everything else that's going to happen in this film. So, how is it that sounds in combination flowing through time as music evoke emotions so universally? Maybe since we were primitive, we expressed emotions with sounds. We cried out, we laughed, we screamed in fear. Maybe when we choose to recreate sounds that regenerate those emotions, we learn how to make music. I don't know. But the closer we are to the purity of that process, the more authentic is the music. That means as an artist, as a composer, you have to feel, project, and imagine. And that will determine the power of your work. The singular achievement of Elliot Goldenthal is from his raw genius and intensity and integrity for doing exactly that. Let's see some of his work.